One of the more curious customs among colleges and universities is the awarding of honorary degrees. The road to doctor is long and arduous. Many more begin this journey than ever complete it. That notwithstanding, a university as president is invested with the power to bestow the doctorate honoris causa. It's a carefully guarded power, reserved for quite extreme cases of selfless service to the university, the community, or humankind. And it is my privilege today to make such an award. Many years ago, Weber took the high road regarding college athleticism. We decided we were going to be realistic about the fact that irrespective of the school, the association, the conference, or the sport, nearly no college athlete goes pro, and therefore focusing on alternative careers is very, very vital. We decided we weren't going to sacrifice academic for athletics. Instead, we decided we were going to leverage sport for all it was worth. We were going to build teamwork. We were going to build leadership. We were going to build we were going to build discipline. We were going to build lifetime friendships. We were going to build strength. We were going to build character. And it is for that reason that we quite purposefully and with great pride fly the NAIA banner in proclamation of our decision to embrace what's right about college athletics. Many of the young men sitting in front of us today are testimony. You can be an athlete and a scholar, and that integrity trumps all. And today's speaker is emblematical about what's right about college athletics. My friend Jim Carr has been the president of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics since 2006, having joined the association as a managing director and general counsel. Before that, he had a thriving law practice at Birmingham, Alabama, and before that, he worked in the athletics development office at UNLV. Carr holds a Bachelor of Business Administration from Millsaps College, a MS in Sports Management from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and a JD from Duke University. His community service is substantial and, more importantly, significant. You know, some of our speakers might be a little bit out of their comfort zone in a basketball gym. I kind of am. But today's holds men's single-season records for three-point field goals made, three-point field goal percentage, and three-point percentage attempted. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a former college athlete turned CEO and, in the lexicon of the NAIA, a true champion of character. Many of our graduates, I think, can relate. Mr. Carr, will you join me at the podium? Vice Chairman Sullivan, will you assist me in presenting the speaker with the badges of his scholarship? Okay, everybody. Okay, fine. By authority me vested in recognition of a lifetime of service, I bestow upon Jim Carr the degree of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa. At this point, we should hood you. Stand this way and we'll do it symbolically. Perfect. Dr. Carr, the Weber podium is yours.
Thanks, Keith. I worked so hard to get my hat on right back there, and I didn't know I was going to have to take it off earlier, so I'm trying to get it straightened out. I appreciate those kind words, Keith. As Keith talked about, our association signature program is Champions of Character, and Keith certainly embodies that. But as you can also tell, he's a champion for all of you. He's a champion for Weber students, and particularly in our context, Weber student athletes. So no doubt about Keith's passion. You can hear it in his words up here. But please join me in giving Keith a round of applause. Well, it's a great honor to be here with you and stand before the Weber community, Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, parents and friends of graduates, but of course, first and foremost, the 2014 graduates of Weber International University. So how's everybody doing out there? You guys pumped? It's your day. Give somebody a fist bump, get excited. 25 years ago, I stood in your shoes, not knowing what was next, but excited to take on the world, to make something of myself. Then graduation weekend ended, and I was scared to death just like most of my classmates. So I thought it might be a good idea today to offer some advice. Now remember, advice is as good as what you pay for it, so you can take that into consideration. But in any event, I'm going to give you some advice and reflect on what I've learned post-graduation. And hopefully impart some of that knowledge I've gained so you can go out into the world a little more confident than I was. But let me tell you at the outset, I can't answer the what's next question for you. This is your life, your path, your opportunity for greatness. Much like your college professors, I can only provide some information and encourage you to think. The rest is up to you. The first thing I did is I set out on this opportunity to talk to all of you today was to try to learn more about your generation so I could try to communicate better with you. And here's what I learned. First of all, a lot of folks out there aren't very kind to the millennials, to this generation. I know this is a celebration for you, but I thought you had a right to know what some other folks are saying about you. A recent Time magazine article was titled, "Millennials, the me generation." It went on to call you entitled and self-obsessed. And that's not very kind. In fact, I think that's almost downright mean. But I will say it's not your fault. As a parent of 2 millennials, I know we can be helicopter parents, or now I hear people referring to parents like me as snowplow parents, trying to push everything out of the way to make the way for our babies to do well. And when I was a kid, if you got in trouble at school, that was nothing compared to the trouble you're going to get into when you got home. But now I understand when a kid goes into the principal's office and comes out, he or she is texting mom saying, "Mom, call the attorneys, we're going in." I just wanted to have a little fun at your expense today because I actually have a much different view of your generation than millennials. You see, as president of the NAI, we oversee athletics departments that encompass 62,000 student athletes, or 62,000 millennials. So I have the benefit of drawing my own conclusions from my own perspective. And in my book, you're confident, self-expressive, upbeat, open to change. I believe you care about service and community. I believe you're trying to find a place for yourself so you can help others and make the world a better place. But enough about your generation. Let's talk about you, the graduating class from Weber International University. First of all, congratulations on getting this degree. It is a big deal, as Keith said before. You should be proud and rejoice in what you've accomplished. Only 1/3 of all Americans have what you're about to receive today. But the most wonderful thing about your degree today, about this achievement that sets you apart, is this just the beginning. This is, in fact, your commencement. Going back to my graduation, I can't tell you one thing that our commencement speaker said to us that day. I can't even remember his name, or for that matter, I'm not even 100% sure it was a guy. What I can remember was that feeling I had that day, the feeling that anything was possible, that Millsaps College had prepared me for what was next. My education and my experience as a student athlete over those 4 years would serve me well, because those 4 years taught me to think, to dream, and to work. Now, as I prepared for this address, I thought it'd be a good idea to understand a little more about Weber. So I looked at some interviews with former Weber students and heard them talk about the Weber way. It was described as a sense of home, community, and family, as Keith said before. Some also mentioned something about a beach party. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but I think I might come back for it next year. But what really stood out to me was a common theme. What I was hearing from all these people in one way or another was, Weber changed my life. So in the few minutes I have remaining, I want to talk to you about how I believe Weber has changed your life by teaching you to think and dream and work. How what you learned in your time here will impact you and all those around you for the rest of your life. And that by continuing to think and dream and work, you will find your passion and be successful in life. but a success that will be defined by you. So let's talk about what it means to think. You may be thinking, this guy's crazy. We all know how to think, so nobody needs to teach me how to do that. But I believe learning to think is exactly what college is intended to do, and something you will always have as a result of your education here at Weber. What I want to encourage you to do today is think about something that I've referred to as self-discovery. What is your passion? What's the thing that pulls you? What are your strengths? What delivers pure joy for you? Maybe even go back to when you were 10 or 12 years old and think about what are the things that made you most happy in life. Because this type of self-discovery will start you on a path. And once you start on this path, thinking about the kinds of things that make you come alive, I encourage you to dream about the possibilities. These dreams may be professional or they may be personal. But in essence, think about 20, 30, 40 years from now and what you want to have accomplished and what people will be saying about you. It could be owning your own company. It could be raising a healthy and happy family. It may simply be known as a good friend to all those around you. But regardless of the specific dream, I think the most important thing is to have those dreams. My dreams have changed over the years, and yours will too. But because dreams evolve and change over time, I think the most critical thing you can take away today is it's time to go to work. And it sounds like from what Keith said, you guys are already working hard at it just to get to where you are now. Because to run a marathon, you have to take that first step. To reach your life aspirations is no different. Of course, in a marathon, we know the course, we know what direction to go, and we know how long the race is. We're not so lucky in life. And I don't know any successful or happy people who've had a straight line to where they are now. So experimentation, simply starting the race, will be critical to whatever you decide to do. Now, it takes some guts to take this approach because it's likely to come with a dose of failure, a dose of struggle, and people questioning what you're doing. When I graduated 25 years ago, and I was sitting in your seat, I really had no idea what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. But I knew I loved sports. I knew I loved being part of a team. So I left Mississippi, where I spent my first 22 years of my life, and set out for the University of Massachusetts. I knew no one and really had no idea what in the world I would do with a master's in sports management. I then went to work at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, making the whopping sum of $600 a month. Not $600 a week, but $600 a month. But I got by working an extra job on the weekends, and I couldn't have been happier or more fulfilled at any time. I did not realize then, but I know now, that the key to my happiness and my success was the passion that I had then and I still have today for college athletics. And that passion was a result of understanding my dreams and how to work and how to think. Dreaming about what could be and then setting out on a path, even though the end was anything but clear. And believe me, there were many doubters. I can even remember my own grandfather saying to me on multiple occasions, "When are you going to quit this sports thing and get a real job?" So keep thinking, keep dreaming like they taught you here at Weber. Go to work by taking advantage of whatever opportunities are out there for you. But there is one last thing I need to add to the mix, and this is very important. Whatever you plan to do, whether you plan to go to graduate school, join the workforce, or just take some time to think, don't just listen to your brain. Listen to your heart. It's the best career counselor there is out there. By following your heart, you also will find your passion. And a burning passion is the most potent fuel for your dreams. I want to read a quote from Steve Jobs because I think he summed up well this concept in a commencement speech he delivered back in 2005. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. So I think what he was saying is, listen to your heart and follow your passion. Before I close, I want to share one last piece of advice. I've talked a lot about thinking and dreaming and working. These are all solitary acts, things that you can control. I also talked about you being responsible for your destiny. And while I believe that statement to be true, you could not have gotten to where you are, and you will not be successful or happy without others. I'm 47 years old, but I still owe much of my place in life to my parents and countless friends and family members. Unfortunately, my parents aren't around anymore for me to thank them and tell them how much they meant to me. So don't let this day pass without telling those who helped you get here how much they mean to you. Because if you're like me, the list is long because I needed a lot of help. So I close by thanking Dr. Wade, the Weber faculty, staff, and board for inviting me here. But most of all, I thank all of you, the 2014 graduates, who allowed me to be part of this special day. Thank you.